back to Belmont Bunch or something. We're going to Game 7 in this series. The Islanders find a way to win down 2-0 into the second. I think I gave myself a heart attack. Hold on. The Islanders win. That's it. That's the video. The New York Islanders. I'm not going to restart. I'm just going to go with it. Okay. We'll do the emotional stuff at the end. We'll do the game for now. The Isles come out after an 8-0 thrashing and play a lot better. A lot of offensive zone possession, a lot of hitting, some of it not borderline, some of it penalties, and we'll talk about it. Don't worry. I'm not going to turn a blind eye to my own team's penalties, but a lot of offensive zone possession. Keywords possession and not a lot of offense because the Tampa Bay Lightning kind of doing an Islanders-esque approach, kind of absorbing a lot of pressure, but not giving away the middle. So they're keeping the Islanders to the outside. They're forcing the Islanders to pass it around a lot. The Islanders are so unwilling to put a puck on net that, I think the Lightning probably said they're too passive shooting. You take away the middle of the ice, and they're not going to throw it at goal from weird angles, which they should. As a team that doesn't have a crazy amount of talent, like offensive talent, don't take that as an insult, but they have to find weird ways to score, mostly. Unless Barzal gets going, which he did. But anyway, so getting back to the thing I was talking about with penalties, Scott Mayfield, so talk about it. Initially, we see Kucherov take a run at Barzal, which, after last game, we kind of expected something like that to happen from somebody. And he comes up really rough. He's holding his arm or his chest. It's a little bit hard to tell. Maybe it's a rib thing. He, in his own zone, gives the puck away. You could tell he can't put a lot of pressure on his, he can't do much. My words are not going to be eloquent tonight. I'm very sorry. But yeah, he goes straight to the room as soon as as the whistle goes. And this came early on the NBC broadcast. They're going, oh, that looks like, just a weird freak thing where he threw himself into the glass. Didn't look like it was that hard. Maybe he jammed something. But Scott Mayfield probably had something to do with this. He had a hard cross-check with the puck away. I mean, obviously, even if you're on the puck, you can't cross-check a guy. But, Mayfield gets away with one there. Kucherov never came back into the game. I think he played about 45, 46 seconds on his first shift. And he's out, and that's a tough blow. Later in the game, Ross Colton would miss a little bit of time. So for a bit, the Lightning were down to 10 forwards. And like the broadcaster said, last year they were able to do 11 forwards and 7D and make it work. If they have to do that for next game, they've done it before, and they've done it to success before. They won a cup or something. But they have so much front top-end talent on the front two lines that I think they could afford to go with one fewer bottom six forward. Anyway, and it might be Coleman because of things. So Barzal almost scored off of a Pelech feed. This is one that Pelech threw towards the net from a weird angle, but it's more of a pass. And Barzy just misses. And that was one I thought I was going to really regret having seen. Would have rather not seen that. Thank you very much. And Braden Point gets one against the run of play, but Tampa Bay started a little bit to get the counterattack going. The Braden Point goal, though, it's not the way you think of Tampa Bay goals. It's not this gorgeous passing play and incredible. It's blocked to clear. Pelech tries to run around the boards, seals it off, gets to the front, out muscles Pelech, and then bats in kind of a fluttering loose puck. It's a greasy goal, and I got to give credit. Braden Point going into the dirty areas. You can get a reputation if you're a goal scorer that won't go there. Braden Point scores in his 9th straight game, so I think he'll score from anywhere. So I don't think anybody was saying that, but that's impressive from Braden Point, who was taken in the 3rd round of the draft, the pick after Ilya Sorokin. Fun fact. The Bolts, like I said, second half of the period, evened it out in possession. Second period, so we start with a Clutterbuck roughing penalty. Now, this was an interesting one. The Islanders are the only ones that go off. And Coleman kind of got a punch in on Clutter, but he did it smart. See, Clutter just, was throwing hands all around. Coleman gets that punch and he goes under. Very clever. And so the referees don't see that one. It's only one guy for roughing. The Islanders do survive that power play. But I talked about the refereeing on Twitter today. It's been terrible. And I'm not saying that like I'm an Islanders fan and, they missed this against the Islanders and this. It's been bad. It's been objectively very hard to watch. When I see Mayfield get that cross check in and a second one to come. That's not fun. I want to see, the game played fair, rough, but fair. And cross checks are not part of that. Anyway, good penalty kill from the Islanders for the first minute, and then a Hedman trip wipes it out. So my first thought is, that's the makeup for the Miss Coleman one, but was the Miss Coleman one a makeup for the cross check on Mayfield? This is where game management doesn't work. Because I think eventually you go, wait a second, that was a makeup for this, and this was a makeup. Like, call the game. Call the game. Call the rule book is what people have been saying, and I think they're right. Sergachev takes a interference call. Initially, they called it a trip. I was like, I don't know if that's a trip. If you're going to call it, that's more of an interference. It was I thought it was a little bit soft. It's two guys going for the puck. Anyway, they call that. The Islanders don't score anyway. They had a short 5-on-3. It was good in terms of puck movement. And that is something other people, and that seems to be an opinion that only I have. Palmieri misses the net a bunch there, and it makes you pine for Wahlstrom. Just missed the net too many times. And a gut punch. Cirelli on a breakaway. Great pass from, I believe it was Sergachev out of his own zone, but also Ryan Pulock got turned around, didn't see his guy, wide open. Everybody's on Nick Leddy about this goal. You go back and watch the replay. Ryan Pulock just kind of lost where he was. And can Nick Leddy do a better job? And, would you rather take a penalty there on Cirelli than let him just walk in? Yeah, probably. I'd like you to make any body contact. But I think it's, Leddy wouldn't be in that position if Pulock doesn't get turned around and not cover the outside part of the zone. So it's 2-0 there. Starts to feel really dire. At this point, I think the Bolts have scored 12 straight goals in this series. The Islanders are really struggling to get anything really tough on net. Not really getting Vasilevsky, tired out at all. Not really pressuring him at all. And then right when you start to think it's getting away, I think everybody thought that. I tweeted something that definitely, you go back, you check my receipts. I was wrong. Barzy enters the zone, takes, drops it off to Eberle. Eberle, good backhand through a Tampa screen, and Vasilevsky never sees it, or doesn't. It's too late. And it's 2-1, and there's life. They're not playing great, but there's life. It's not as lifeless as last game. The defensive effort is mostly better, but the offense really was not doing too great, and that was huge. End of the period, Mayfield, another cross-check, this one on Stamkos. I saw people getting on Stamkos that, he bumped his nose. No, he got cross-checked downward, and he hit his nose on the rim of the boards. That's another missed one. Now, there is a penalty call but it goes 4-on-4 to start the third. There was roughing calls, and you see Pat Maroon doing this, and it's like, you better win the game if you do this. That's why I never speak until the game is over. I'm a loser. Anyway, 4-on-4 to start the third because of those matching roughing calls, and Barzy dominant. Barzy clearly wanted it. At the very least, if they were going to lose, first of all, thank God they didn't get shut out in the last game of the Coliseum. And secondly, Barzy just putting it all out there and doing it. I mean, dragging the team into it offensively. He had just, just a bunch of incredible moves to start the period, incredible possession, created a ton of chances. Wouldn't go, but great start to the period. Midway through the period, Kyle Palmieri, he had a rough one. A lot of chances. And he steals a puck. He is the whole middle of the ice, middle of the slot. If this is NHL 15, you just flip the stick and it goes top corner. I know it's not that easy. But Palmieri holds, and he holds, and he holds, and he gets Vasilevsky down to a point where it's like, oh, you have the whole mid to top part of the net. And he keeps holding on to it. And he tries to do the little go around you, wrap it as I'm going behind the net. Just put it on net, buddy. If they had lost, I would have been fuming about that one. I still am, aren't I? Islanders dominating Tampa Bay. I have an issue with their strategy here. The Islanders tried to do this last game. We saw, in Game 4. The Islanders tried to do this in Game 4, and it almost didn't work, if not for an incredible last-second play by Pulock. Holding on for dear life. Only up 1 in Tampa's scenario, but just in general in the playoffs, don't think it's a good idea. I think the best defense is to get the forecheck going. I know that it leaves you susceptible to breakouts and odd man rushes, but Tampa Bay just tried to salt away 20 minutes, and that is very, very difficult against an incredibly desperate team, possibly playing in their last game at their home stadium. So I think for Tampa, they didn't have a shot through like the first 10 minutes. I don't think that was the right approach. Now, part of it is the Islanders get a good start to the period, and maybe Tampa's back on their heels. And yeah, we'll give some credit to the Islanders too for creating chances, mostly Barzal, and forcing them in a way to have to do that. But yeah. Anyway, Killorn took a penalty on a hold. Looked like the right call. Islanders do nothing with that power play. That was horrible. And it's starting to get a little bit dire. You're starting to get to that point. There's not a ton of time left. Every second matters. Every second you're ticking towards the end of the Nassau Coliseum. And Scott Mayfield, of all people, Matt Barzal does a little bit of a lap around. Puck gets to the point. Whoever's on the point, I'm going to assume it's Leddy because it's the Leddy-Mayfield pair, just gives it to Barzy. Best thing Leddy did tonight was recognize that Barzy was feeling it. Lets Barzy do the tour. He draws in 3 Lightning defenders. Again, they're trying to keep stuff to the outside, so they're swarming Barzal in the middle, but nobody goes to Scott Mayfield. And maybe I'm being a little bit harsh because that is a roof. I am sorry. Vasilevsky takes pretty much the right approach. He's daring you to hit. I don't even know what that, is the how many inches he had open. Not a lot. And for a defenseman to do it, I know he did it in Game 7 of the Philly series last year, but and that one was more open. This one was a rip short side. Barzy just dragging this team, creating chances for other guys. You'll love to see it. And to Tampa's credit, this is what the champs do. They survive what felt like a push. After you score that one, you feel like, oh, the Islanders are going to win it. They got to do it now. And Tampa Bay weathers the storm. No pun intended. And they survive. They get a chance near the end. Martin takes a bad penalty. And it's one of those, he got his stick lifted into, I think it was Maroon or Killorn. Those guys look very similar. But either way, there have been bad calls both ways. There have been bad missed calls. You just got to deal with it, and the Islanders do. And Varley is a big part of it. Varley had a big stop in the second with the score, I think, 2-0 still at that point, where he was able to, shot going back where he was coming from, makes a glove save. He makes a huge stop on this power play, and then he's able to catch one and give the penalty killers time to relax a little bit. Varley, he's not giving up bad ones. I'll tell you that. The goaltending has been fine. I know what happened last game. It wasn't the goaltending. Anyway, so going to OT. I have just cracked beer number 2 on the whole night. Don't worry, I was pacing. I was alone in my basement. I wasn't going to go hard. Don't worry. But I was absolutely screaming my head off when a minute in, a terrible giveaway by Blake Coleman. This is why I said earlier in the video, foreshadowing. Maybe if they go 7D, he's the one out. He probably isn't. It's a joke. But he had Hedman like right on top of him, and he tried to get it to, I think it was Ruda, and just not a good pass. And you know what? Let's give credit also to Bo for getting that aggressive on the forecheck. Steals it, just throws it on net, scores. It's too tight. It's very in tight for Vasi, and it just gets ripped. And the Islanders win. And yeah, the beer stuff, yeah, it's stupid. Don't do that. And Clutterbuck is going to kill you. He looked like he was going to kill him. But I mean, this is great now in a few perspectives. I mean, obviously, first and foremost, you're a step further than last year. You are the closest the Islanders have been to the Cup since 84, 85. Second, I mean, improvement from last year by a game. Well, that's kind of the first thing I said. So I'm sorry, my mind is racing, and Butch is speaking in the background about the toy department or something. What else? What else are great? If you lose Game 7 now, first of all, I like the Islanders have left it all out there. What a gutsy, you've given up 12 straight goals in the series, and you fight real hard. You know you're not playing your best game, but Barzy just says, get on my back, and that Varley plays really well. Vasi, this is killing me. And Beauvillier breaks a goal drought. Man. So I had like I was already preparing my thoughts for like the end of the season type stuff. Like, they're the Bolts. They do what they do, and they can win in a lot of ways. They'll crush you like they did, or they'll grind you down like they've also done in this series. And tonight the Islanders just able to overcome that salting away tactic, and they go back to Tampa. They have won a game in Tampa in this series. Both teams have won road games, so it's not unprecedented in the series. I think you got a lot of momentum. We don't know about Kucherov. We don't know about Eric Chernak, who gave way for Defender of the Glass Luke Schenn tonight. And if you're wondering why I call him Defender of the Glass, last year in the Islander-Tampa series, I think one of the Islanders was frustrated after he missed a chance, and he banged his stick on the glass. And Luke Schenn took exception. He said, "I am fighting on behalf of the glass." So that's the lore behind that. What else is there to say? Not much. I'll see you Friday for the video, come hell or high water, unless it goes into the morning because of multiple OTs and stuff. And processing videos takes a while. I'm filming this before midnight, but it probably won't come out till after. Long video, huh? But we'll see you next time on Belmont Bunch. Game 7, baby. Here we go.